like that. That's too much.
It's a lot of energy, a lot of energy. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah. If I could have a little bit more volume in my ears, Sean, that'd be perfect. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. Here. Yeah, that's it's too much. It
It's
is.
a lot.
Uh,
Yeah.
it is too.
Mhm.
Pamela, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's get started.
Let you take over. Talking about the podcast. I'll do the introduction and let's go for it. And
Yeah.
when we open our mouth, God will speak. We bind all
Mhm.
distractions. Things will flow. People will be ministered to. People will be set free. Our Think Talk family, you know, we're Christian therapists and we hear from God and we want you to master life rather than life master you. So go ahead, Pamela. Let's make it happen.
Listen, you was on a roll. You could have just went on ahead and floated on through. But hello, everyone. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. You could have been doing something else, but you decided to come on here and listen to us, and we appreciate it. It's an honor. And we want to tell you a little bit about Authentic Talk. Authentic Talk consists of us, you know, beautiful women. We're two therapists with similar backgrounds, with the same vision in mind, with a little twist of faith based as well. And so we want to come on here and bring you guys some information that you can carry and put inside of, whether it's your purse, your wallet, your toolbox, whatever it may be. In
Uh,
your journal, if you have
mhm.
journal and you're taking notes as we're coming before you to speak on these different topics. And as you know that we're dedicated to talking to you guys about relationship trauma, trauma itself, depression, anxiety, and just a range of various topics to kind of help you along your way. And one thing that we would love to do is if we can help one person and maybe even two, you know, we'll be happy for that. And if it's something that I left out, sure, please do jump in and let them know as well.
And you know, and Pamela, I was even listening. You know, some came across to me a topic that we're going to have everybody to go
Mhm.
journal, and we're going to talk about just one night the importance of a journal to get them started.
Yes.
And that is so important.
Mhm.
To write. I have a journal. I have when special things come to me, if God's speaking to me about things
Mhm.
or just different ideals and visions or whatever, I write in that journal, and so it just let me know, and then I can go in there and reflect on it and keep that vision right and keep the canvas of my imagination clear. So we're gonna talk about that. Um,
Yes.
but welcome, like she said, Facebook YouTube family. And tonight topic we're going to talk about is Meet the Narcissist. Pamela,
Mm.
I love when you did that title right there.
Did you like that?
I said, look at here.
Well, you know, that's how they show up. They want you to say, "Oh, I'm here. Meet me." You
uh,
know,
hey, Denise, yeah, meet me. That is, and
meet me.
and once you meet them, ooh, that just what
Run.
you
You better
run.
run.
And so what we what we're doing today, this is a relevant topic from the standpoint that there are men and women out there, Pamela, and Authentic Talk family, and those who are going to be reviewing listen afterwards, that have been traumatically affected or impacted both emotionally and mentally by a narcissist. What that
Mhm.
means, what I'm saying is that people have been in a relationship with a narcissist and their soul has been drained. And you guys are gonna I'll keep saying soul and keep saying, because your soul is important, because your soul is connected to everything else. It's connected, it just connected to your body. Everything has to be right. If your soul is not prospering, no other area of your life will prosper. And a narcissist will drain your soul. Okay, they will abuse your soul, they will vandalize your soul to the point that you don't even know who you are and you cannot think straight, straight. So while the concept of narcissist uh, dates back 1,000 years ago, and me and Pamela were talking about that. Let's just give you the spiritual side. Your first narcissist was Lucifer, in heaven, and everybody know he was the musician. He was just the out of his body, just called the flow of praise and worship and so forth. But he got so beyond himself that he thought he could take the place of God. Now watch this. I can do this. I can do it. Me, myself, and I. And God said that's not going to happen. So he was kicked out with a host of angels. So that was really your first narcissist right there. Okay. And it was a grandiose, I mean, it was just way out there. The reality was unrealistic of how he wanted to be. So that's how far we can go back. And if you look in the Bible day, there were other narcissists, both men and women. And I even thought about it too. too, you told me another a king, but then I thought about Jezebel was a narcissistic in some form of fashion. And if you guys get time, read those stories so you get the feel of what we're talking about. That's why we told you what happened in the Bible days below, over 2,000 years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. And so we're just in a new generation. Things look different, but people still had those traits, those characteristics. And so we want to talk about that today. And then, Pamela, also is that narcissistic to be in the DSM or just to be acknowledged as a personality disorder, so forth, is only or recognized as an illness within the last 50 years. Isn't that something to really get that recognition as being an illness over the past 50 years. So, but the main point that I want to emphasize, Pamela, and the Authentic Talk family is a narcissist. And if you might want to write this down, they're broken. They are broken. And we're going to talk about that because when you are broken, then you watch this, you'll break everything or anyone that's in your way in order for your needs to be taken place. Because, misery like company, all right? So, Pamela, we're going to talk about the definition of a narcissist, and we're going to break that down. And then we're going to we're just doing the framework tonight. Now, we're not going to get into relationships. Men, that's a whole different topic right there, what they experience. But we're going to talk about that on another time. And then we're going to talk about the treatment plan because, a narcissist can be transformed. Isn't that something? They can't, they can be transformed. But the definition I was looking in the DSM is the narcissistic personality disorder is an enduring pattern of inner experience and behavior characterized, and you might want to write this down: self-centeredness, lack of empathy, and an exaggerated sense of self-importance. They have a grandiose perception of self, a big, inflated sense of self. And it's the me, myself, and I. And we're going to talk more about that. And but Pamela, also what I want to say is that let's do Freud real quick, and then we're going to go into it. Sigmund Freud. What he was saying is that there's a fixed amount of energy. Now, let me just read it as is. This is his way of he was describing in childhood how a child can be seeds planted into a child that have caused them to be on that path of a narcissistic if it's not taken care of. But it says Freud model, there was a fixed amount of this energy. And it says, here it is. Okay. And in it, Freud proposed a rather complicated set of ideas in which he suggests that narcissism is connected to whether one libido's energy that lies behind each person's survival instinct is directed inward towards oneself or outwards towards others. He felt that infants directed all their libido towards a state it is referred to as a primary narcissism. Isn't that something? So,
Mm.
so Freud modeled there was a fixed amount of this energy, and to be degree, this libido was directed outward towards attachments to others. It would diminish the amount of availability to oneself. By giving away this love, Freud suggested that people experience diminished primary narcissism. In order to replenish this capacity, he believed that receiving love and affection in the world in return was vital to maintain a sense of satisfaction. So, in other words, is that the child has to learn how to have a balance to have love, but in order to give love back. And that's the whole thing about a narcissist. They can't give love back. Okay.
Mhm.
Not at all. Not, they can fake it, tell you that they love you, but they can't give that love back. And I like how he said it started in childhood. And we're going to talk more about that is that this impairment and Pam, I love how you always explain about that timeline. Where did it all happen at? And that timeline, parents, that impairment could take place is not discerning or planting the wrong seeds. I think that's what we're saying. Planting seeds. What I mean by that, planting seeds of selfishness, planting seeds of me, myself, and I. Planting seeds in your child is all about you. I'm better than everybody else. And you plant all that stuff, creating a reality. And when you plant those seeds and keep planting those seeds, then they turn into trees. These are trees that are your belief system. And then they are displayed through the fruits, through your behavior and their action. And then if this continues on, that's when it start really showing in adulthood. And that is so important. And then another thing is that there is a there may be a deficiency within the narcissist. Say, for instance, the parent. Say, I think someone had told me how individual, their mom was so busy trying to be in relationships with other men that she negated her role as a mother and providing the nurture and everything that he needed as a little boy that he needed to receive from his mother. And so that he was, so that had put him in a survival mode that it was, I have to take care of me. So it can happen different ways for different people. But if that stuff is not massaged out, however it was happened as a child, then what happened is, Pamela, I believe even in the Eric Erickson stage, they become stagnant in certain levels that they, because he believes that if you don't make it in one level, then you're stuck there. And how can you be successful from going to
True.
one level to another? And so
Mhm.
it is so important that people recognize that, and when you have children, make sure you let them know that it's not all about them, and because think about child think it is about them. This is what I'm doing, this is what I'm that, everything's about them, but you have to balance it out. Am I about right, Pamela?
You're definitely right. Yes, you're
Mm,
right. It's almost like that spotlight. You know how you have that spotlight turn on the stage, and it's just only them under that spotlight. It
mm,
could be like that. They can show up like that, but although they showing up like it's about me and I need all of this
mhm,
admiration, excessive admiration, deep inside, it's a lot of self hate. They don't really like themselves, and so since they don't really like themselves, we not like you said, we're not gonna go too far in the relationship
mm,
part. But
mhm,
when they are around other people, it's almost like they project all of what they feel about themselves onto that other person, and that's how those
mhm.
different various things start to take place when they are in a relationship with someone.
Mhm. And then, I always think about, I always heard someone said, everybody has this inside of them a sense of wanting to feel important. And it's okay. It's good to feel important, but
Mhm.
when you take it to the 10th degree, you see what I'm saying? And you sacrifice others' peace of mind, their physical health for the sake of you gaining that importance, there's that dysfunction that's taken place. And,
Mhm.
and and I think that is so important. So it is so important. I really thought about that, is that parents can plant seeds into their belief system, and that can be the start of a narcissist.
Yeah, think about it this way. I'm pretty sure you guys all remember the movie Mommy Dearest. She
Yep.
was that is the classic narcissist of a woman, just overbearing, wanting everything her way or the highway. And
Mhm,
if you and let's take it a little further, if it's not from a woman's perspective and a man's perspective, is him showing up, and everything has to be about him. If it's not about him,
mhm,
then it's the highway. And God forbid you start getting your own ideals about things, then you immediately are going to be dismissed.
mhm,
Maybe, it just depends. But I want to back up just a little bit, sure, when you were talking
mhm,
about the definition, because the definition in the DSM on the narcissist. So in order for someone to so some people can have sprinkle of the characteristics of a narcissist, but in
yeah.
order for them to be diagnosed as a narcissist, they have to have at least five or more of these symptoms of what Cheryl stated, as well as a couple of other things. Like I mentioned just a little while ago, they require excessive admiration. They believe he or she is special. Like, you're not special, they are the ones that's special. Okay.
Mhm,
Also, they are preoccupied with having this fantasy that they have this unlimited success, Cheryl. They feel like they're powerful. In their mind, in their world, they may be the president of the United States, although they don't have that title. But when they enter into a room or when they're around other people, that's how they feel, that they have this elaborate amount of success and brilliance and beauty, and you don't. It's almost like I'm better than you and you're a peasant. That's kind of like how they think. And then also, this one thing that stuck out to me, that you didn't mention, that I thought, wow, it's amazing, but they're often envious of you
mhm,
for no reason, but so, well, for some reason, let's say it like that. You may think like, okay, why are they envious of me? I'm, doing this and doing that. It's not anything that they can't do. But trust me, they're envious of you, or they believe people are envious of them. So this is in their mind of this elaborate, how should I say, their thought process, of how they're thinking. So you have to have at least five of those symptoms in order to be diagnosed by a therapist or licensed mental health professional as a narcissist. So I just wanted to back up and talk about that for a moment.
And you know what? And I thought about that, and you said I don't know why they're envious of me. I was thinking about as I hear people talk or tell me about relationships or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
be envious of you because you got it all together. You have the wisdom, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're organized. You know how to do things, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a narcissist world is not organized.
They're not.
Uh-huh, they're not organized, and then they see that you have these results. Watch, they see that's good. They see that you get these results without
Mm-hmm.
strategically manipulated to get what you want.
Exactly.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
You hit it right there.
Don't
Exactly.
ask me to say it again, but that's it right there.
Yeah. You
But
no,
uh-huh,
you
uh-huh,
said it.
to
Mm-hmm.
get the results, and so that's
Mm-hmm.
jealousy right there. They'll try
Usually.
to put you down, so you won't be able to do that again, or you second guess maybe I shouldn't do that way. I should do this way. They always try to
Yes.
keep you contained in a box.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? But Pam, let me hit back on that. I don't want to rush and miss out. But it says another important part of Freud theory and based of narcissism
Mm-hmm.
is the ideal that his love that the person love of oneself could be transferred to another person or object. That's what we're talking about. Because
Mm-hmm.
child get those tendencies or those seeds, they're not able to transfer the love. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing about a narcissist. They're unable to transfer the love. And
Mm-hmm.
by giving
They
away
don't love.
they don't. By
Mm-hmm.
giving away love, Freud suggests that people experience diminished primary narcissism. That means that's what I'm talking about, massaging it out. Massage.
Mm-hmm.
So those who are parents, stop making like a child. It's all about them. You teach them to love. You teach them to share. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when they have all their toys or whatever, sometimes you take like I have a box of toys in the car, and parents,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna take that to the Goodwill. I'm teaching them how to share. I'm
Yeah.
teaching her how to give. See, these are small things that you can do that you can teach a child. Now, she may not want to, but but
Yeah, they start off not wanting to.
uh,
A kid always start off like that, but it's our duty and it's our responsibility.
exactly, and
Mhm,
leaving them. And so, what
mhm.
happened by not doing that and planting those seeds that
Yes.
eventually will grow, they're leaving them less able to nurture, less able
Mhm,
to protect and to
mhm.
defend themselves. Because I don't, a narcissist really can't protect you.
They don't want to protect you.
They,
You have to remember it's
mhm,
all everything is gonna be based on them, and they like you said earlier, Cheryl, they will drain you. They will wring you out like a towel,
mhm,
and, they want you to be loyal to them,
mhm,
but they're not gonna be to you. And
mhm.
I'm trying to keep myself back, hold myself back, Cheryl, because you said we're not gonna jump into the relationship piece,
Well,
but
follow your heart, and then we'll hey,
um,
follow your heart, and we'll catch you on the train afterward. Keep going.
so when you are in a relationship with a so I'm gonna mention narcissism, man and a woman, but when you're in a relationship with a narcissistic man, you are gonna walk on eggshells. You're gonna feel
Mhm,
like you have to do everything they're gonna make you feel like you have to do everything they say in order to be what should I say, in order to stay around, to be in their life, because remember, nothing is never going to be about you. Initially, it may come across as if things are going to be about you and they're going to love on you and tell you how beautiful you are.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But they'll flip that coin on you, and then they'll start belittling you, telling you that you're lazy, you're no good for nothing, you're worthless, you're stupid,
Mhm.
all those different things.
And, and Pamela, I was just thinking and writing this up because, there
Mm-hmm.
is a deficiency within the narcissistic, which we already made it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever that's in their life, which we're going to talk about later, or, on the job,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they use them to help make up for the deficiency that is in their lives.
Yes, it's about their image. Everything is about their image. So
Mm,
a narcissistic man and a woman is always going to be with someone that looks really good, that's nice looking, intelligent, because you fix them up. your eye candy for them.
Mhm.
You know, you look good on their arms. Not
Mhm.
that they look good on your arms, you look good on their arms.
Mhm, mhm. Somebody type in, "Hey, first lady, how you doing?" Somebody type that in is that you are, helping them with their deficiency. You're making up for all those what they're deficient in is that you're
Uh-huh.
bringing that completion in there. So in actuality,
Yes.
that they are using you, and that is so important.
Mhm.
That is so important to recognize.
Mhm.
Now, let's get to this, Pamela, is because a lot of people, when you talk about a narcissistic person, they always think it's a male, but that's
No.
not. No, narcissism is a non-gender centric. It's non-gender centric. That means there is no just a male, but there's also
Mhm.
female. Won't you break up the difference between those two, and then we'll talk about the traits of a narcissistic?
Yeah. So both men and female are similar. One major thing about a man versus a woman that's a narcissist, a man, they will have sex with you all day long. Okay. They may marry you and they may not marry you.
Mhm.
Okay. The ones that don't want to get married is because they don't want that commitment, because they want to have multiple women. All right. A narcissistic woman, when you're married to her, if you do some things that she believe is wrong, she's going to withhold sex from you. Then you're going to be punished. That's a way of, okay, you didn't do what I say, so I'm going to punish you and I'm going to withhold sex from you. Also, with a woman, you're never going to be enough for her. She's never going to be satisfied. She's going to be have a dismissive behavior towards you. She's going to make compare you and make you feel like you're not enough. And so you're going to be out there running behind her, doing everything you can, trying to have this, trying to do this, trying to get that, because she's going to want you to give her more and more and more. Because remember,
Mhm.
it's about her image.
So in essence, is that as one, one is it seems like the female, she used more of her emotions as
Hmm.
as a manipulator.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Hmm.
Either male or female, their soul is distorted. So they don't have no, and people better realize this. Their soul is distorted. So trust me, they don't care nothing about your soul. Uh,
Remember I told you it's almost kind of like a pimp mentality. It's like, you know how a pimp think, like, okay, you got to do all these different things, but then you got to come and give me whatever you do. You got to give it to me. You got to,
mm-hmm.
whatever you produce, hand over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I thought I had my notes, but there are two types of did I put it here?
You
Oh,
put it on there.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Two types. Did I put it in there? There was the narcissistic, but then there was the vulnerable narcissistic. If I don't have it, I'll talk more about it last week because I want to read and say it correctly. But
Okay.
there are two. I'll find it and I'll present it on next week. But there are
Hmm.
two types of narcissistic, and I know one for sure is the
Hmm.
vulnerable narcissistic. Uh,
Hmm.
but like Pamela said before, is that you have to meet the criteria to get the MPD. That's short for narcissistic personality disorder.
Hmm.
And then, so you have to have those criteria. So not everybody, oh, they're narciss. No, they have the sprinkles. They have the
They have
trait.
to have, yeah,
Uh,
they have the traits.
uh-huh. And we talked about the childhood and how it taken place. But Pamela,
Mhm.
let's talk about briefly the traits or the characteristics
Mhm.
of a narcissist, either male or female. And number one is they have no empathy. They're emotionless. They lack
Mhm.
now listen carefully. They lack the capacity to feel and concern for others. Therefore, they view people as a means to the end. I'm going to say it again. They no empathy, they're emotionless, they lack the capacity to feel and concern for others, and therefore they view people as a means to an end.
Mhm.
That's it.
I need you for this. And when you no longer can serve me in that area, that category, then they'll just drop you like a leaf
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
go on about their business. But they'll
Mhm.
always come back, you guys. They'll always circle the block and come
Mhm.
back because for some reason a narcissist has a need to stay connected to their ex. They because they still want to see, do I have that power and control over this person? So
Uh-huh.
they'll circle the block.
Or they're losing out because they were taking care of a need of
Hmm.
whatever the case may be. They were providing that organization that
Yes.
they were helping taking care of the whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
That's why we tell people when you get out of a relationship with a narc, cut it,
Hmm.
cut it. When you
Hmm.
get out, and like because I know I'm ahead of myself, but they hate to be
No, take it. Go ahead. Go
they
for
hate to
it.
be ignored. They hate to they
Ooh.
hate to be ignored. And watch this. And when you are in a relationship with them, Pamela, and they feel that you're going to about to get out, I know we're ahead of
Hmm.
ourselves.
No,
Then
you're doing good.
what they're going to do is serve you a royal platter for you to pick and choose so you can stay in there. See, but what they're doing in essence is that they're reprogramming your mind so that you fit the role of the actor or the actress inside of their reality, their self-centered reality. See, the
Hmm.
narcissistic person is the writer and the producer of his reality, and he chooses people that are they may look beautiful but they're broken. See, they do their research quite well. And what happened is now you're playing the role. They got you just where they want you. You playing the role, living it. So it'll satisfy their perception of self. And when they feel like you're getting tired and you're about to walk out,
About to hit it. You're about
uh-huh,
to
then they
run.
do something that make you, oh, they're so sweet, and I know they can change whatever. And
Hmm.
I can say,
They'll wine and dine
uh,
you.
can I
Hmm.
like this, Pamela?
Say it
Now,
exactly how
I'm
you
not
want to.
I'm not saying nobody is a dog. Just listen to me very carefully. But you
Hmm.
can give a dog a bone and they're satisfied. That's
Hmm.
how the narcissists operate. They can give you something that you satisfied, and you'll stay in there just for a little bit longer. So, and that's long enough that they can reprogram your mind to make you stay in the situation.
Hmm.
Something is wrong with that. Very wrong with that.
Hmm. I tell you, it's that pimp mindset. I hate to use that word, but unfortunately, and I'm not saying every pimp is a narcissist, but
Well,
they got some sprinkles in there.
well.
Some are, and some have some sprinkles in there. But that's just what it really is. And they, I'm trying to think of how to say this without going too far ahead of myself. I'll just say this: when you are dealing with a narcissist, they're never going to be honest with you. They're going to always tell. They're always going to be a liar.
Hmm.
So they may tell you that you are the cream of the crop, and they'll walk on water for you, and you this and you that, and you everything to them, but they're not being truthful. They're only telling you that because they know, Cheryl, that they're getting ready to split. They
Hmm.
know they're getting ready to leave.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I need you. I can't make
Mhm.
without you.
Yes.
These are manipulative lies. They're controlling lies because they
Very manipulative.
and that's why
Hmm.
we're going. Let me just go there. That's why you have to be strong and know how to love yourself. That's why you have to discern, and that's why you can't fall for every word because every oh that's good. Every word should never be connected to you.
Hmm.
Every words that somebody says should not be connected with you. Well, they said that. That might not be the word that should be connected to you.
That's good.
And everybody, well, they said this about me. But bottom line is that the right words for you? What did it
Mm.
do for your soul, number one? What did it do for your spirit, number two? And is it going to help you to fulfill purpose? Because a narcissist will not allow you to fulfill purpose in life. I'm just going there.
Mhm.
They will
Mhm.
not allow you to fulfill purpose in life because you're too
Mhm.
busy trying to take care of their reality.
Hmm. Well, they want you to stay focused on them because if they feel like you are getting a little bit more, a person that the narcissist doesn't always get with a woman or a man that's not intelligent. They
Mhm,
can be intelligent.
mhm,
What woos them in is all of the love bombing, all of the things. See, they'll buy you all kind of gifts, take you places, do things for you in the beginning. It's all going to look really good
mhm,
until they get you,
mhm,
and they quickly
mhm,
want you to attach to them. They quickly want you to attach to them. So they do all of that
They're
constant communication,
mhm,
constant text message, calling you this and that, and telling you everything. And what they're really trying to do is they'll try to play on your emotions by telling you, oh, this happened to me when I was a kid, and this person did this, and they did this to me, to make you feel bad for them, that, oh, woe is them, that they this happened to them, and they got neglected or they got abused or whatever. And soon as you fall for the bait, then they're gonna flip that coin and they're gonna turn into the Joker.
Mhm.
Watch the movie The Joker. That's that
Mhm.
is a narcissist to the max as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
Facebook said they'll, oh, I missed it, Facebook, I'm sorry.
Did
But
we?
one person on face, yeah, bring it back up. One person said they'll trap you. You're right. It said
Uh-huh.
they'll hold you down till
Uh-huh.
you have no choice but to thrive when it's all over. Correct.
Very good. Very thank you, Facebook
Yes.
family, for and that is
Yes.
then somebody else need to write this down. Pam, I even thought about it. A narcissist lives so much right in the here and now. Everything is the here.
Always. Hmm.
They don't look in the future. So
Hmm.
you'll be so dissatisfied the future, we're gonna make these plans. They're the here is because gratification is here
Hmm.
and now.
Hmm.
Gratification
Entitlement. Hmm.
it's not the future.
Hmm.
Gratification is not it's, associated with the future. It's the here and now.
Yes.
And that is and what I really Pamela, I want us to is that they're the script writer. Their script when they leave that person, they have the same script. It doesn't change.
It,
It just it don't change. It just move on to another person. So
you know,
if they met you at Kentucky Fried Chicken and you fell for it or whatever, I said, I got them. I don't know how long I'm gonna have them, but they gonna be the actor or actress in my play. And then when you get tired of it or whatever, and they know it's done, and you move on,
yeah.
they gonna go right back to another Kentucky
I
Fried Chicken,
mean,
and they gonna wait, and
and
they
have the same story, have the same lines. If they had this, whatever pickup line they use for you, they're gonna use that same pickup line for the next person. Because remember, this is a brand new person. They don't know him or her, and so they're gonna walk on in, and she, the narcissist woman, is gonna just, oh, love on him and be everything that he can ever imagine, to dream of, that he needed in a woman.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
that is a red flag. So if you see that, men, run.
Mhm, mhm. And
Run immediately.
you know what, Pam, because there and somebody please write. I need people to start typing in authentic family. Type this in, or unless you
Mhm,
taking notes, because we're
mhm.
stickler taking notes. And look, this is not just for you. Share it. Invite somebody right now. And it says, and the longer you stay, the hardest it is to get out.
Yes, you're
It is
right, Wilma.
because
You're so right.
you know why, Wilma? Because your mind has been bombarded. Your mind is so tired, and when your mind is tired, you don't have a lot of energy to do anything, and
That's so
you're
true.
unable to thrive. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. Your mind is so
Yeah.
what what happened?
They're from Kentucky Fried Chicken to Popeyes. You are right.
You are you are right,
That's
and you have
right.
because you know what? Because their reality is a movie. And then you're the actor or actress and you are
Mm,
tired. Your soul is tired. You remember I
mm,
said when it says the Bible said, wish upon all things that you prosper, be in health as your soul
mm.
prosper. If your soul is not prospering, you can't prosper in any other area in your life. And
No.
it is hard to get out because watch, then you have created soul ties with that person. And now it's hard to get out because those are twisted soul ties. You're with that person. It's hard to break away as opposed
Mhm,
to a person who was not engaged with that person sexually or whatever the case may be. It
mhm,
may a challenge, but it's easier to get out. But soul ties will keep you in bondage if it's not proper in the
mhm,
proper order. That's why we try to tell you guys during this dating process, ask a lot of questions.
mhm.
Find out about this person. We actually to discern. People just go, "Well, I like him. I want to be with him or whatever." See, that's the
Mhm.
issue. See, a
I
lot of
like her. Yeah.
I Pam, I
Mhm.
come to a lot of conclusion. People just some people just have to learn from experience.
I
And
mean, they'll drag you down an alley full of potholes and scrape you up. You have some black eyes.
mhm,
I'm talking about some spiritual black eyes, because that's when you start,
mhm,
starting to see who they are.
mhm,
And
mhm,
the one thing that people miss initially is they'll act like they want to spend so much time with you and they want you around them. They'll block you from your friends.
mhm,
They'll block you to where they just totally want you to give them your attention and only your attention. And if you take your attention off of them, that's when the manipulation starts.
uh-huh.
All of the guilt.
I see Jeanette say, "Do your research." You're right, baby. Do your research. And then
Mhm.
someone said it seemed like it's too late. It just seemed like hard. I didn't get it write it down.
Yes, you're
Uh,
right, control.
uh-huh.
A
Uh-huh.
lot of
Uh,
control.
Renell, if you could type that in again, I didn't get that. But
Mhm.
that is so important,
Yes.
um, because narcissist will make you feel like, I know we head of ourselves.
Isolated and full of trauma. Yes.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
isolate and full the
Mm,
narcissist will make you feel
10
like you
years later.
uh-huh, the nar
Yes.
10 years later, isolate and full of trauma, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
a narcissist will make you feel like you're going crazy.
Yeah, well, because they want you to think that you're crazy. That's see, all of that is the way that they break you down. They're slowly chipping at you and breaking you down by guilt tripping you, by becoming jealous. They'll start an argument with you on purpose just to create all of that and that tug of war and that back and forth, just to make you feel like all what everything that has occurred is your fault. They're
Mhm.
gonna blame you for everything. They're never at fault for anything. You're gonna always be blamed for everything. So it's best to not even argue with them and debate. You're not gonna win.
Isn't that kinda like gaslighting, kind of?
Yeah,
What
it's
they
a part
create
of it.
they
Mm-hmm.
part of they create a scenario,
Mm-hmm.
of you the circumstances or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that it's not right, but
You know it's not the truth.
they have convinced make you question your mind, "Maybe it is," or, "I know I didn't do this," or whatever, and what that is a form of, it is programming your mind so that you feel helpless and that you
Mm-hmm.
will stay stuck in the
Yeah.
situation. That's
They're
dangerous.
breaking you. They're breaking you
They're
slowly but surely. They're breaking
break
you. They're very calculating with their moves,
Mhm,
very calculating.
mhm,
Yeah.
and they'll strategize, and they'll lean back
Oh, yes.
and they know the right time to push the button.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Yes,
but
most definitely.
somebody said you that's why it's so important to ask questions and check out the family. That's
Mm,
ask questions, and it says check out your family. And ladies, that's why watch this. That's why there's a difference between looking and seeing. Stop looking at
mhm,
the person, their out of appearance and so forth. You have to start seeing the inside of a
mhm,
person. You really
mhm,
have to, if I can just really, let me just go there as a Christian there. Let me go there. A
mhm,
word of advice is, when you meet a person, you should ask God, is that the person for me? If it is, let it be. If not, close all doors. That's what you really,
mhm,
that if you want words of wisdom, that's what you really need to do. And stop saying, well, I know that's the one. And some people be so adamant about this is the person.
mhm.
And then when they get into relationship with the person, they find that person is totally different. And then I don't think, Pam, they have the tools, or they don't exactly know what to do to get out.
Well, because when that happens, usually, not all the time, usually, intimacy has taken place. There's been some time spent.
Mhm,
There's been some, you've been introduced to some people. There's been, some more time, that quality time spent and planning, although they don't really live in the future, but they'll still kind of like make some kind of like non-committal plans with you, if that makes sense. So
mhm.
you have to remember they're all kind of like in, because remember their goal is to get you quickly attached to them, so that way it's like that fish in that hook in that fish. I got you, and I'm just gonna reel you on in, and then you're gonna stay wrapped up in that bondage
So
until
they
you figure it out.
so in other words, they wanna seal the deal.
Oh, that's their goal.
Well, then that's wrong.
That's their goal.
Then
If
that's
they want to be in a relationship with you, that's their goal. Now, some people that's a narcissist, they don't care if you're in a relationship with someone else. They want any kind of attention that they can get from you, whether it's positive or negative. They'll still take it. If you're married, if you're not married, if you're in a relationship, they'll still, keep you on the side. But remember what I said earlier, a narcissist always want to keep in touch with their ex, because they want to see, is that door still cracked for me to come in, play with your mind, play with your emotions. I'm not really gonna be with you, and I'm gonna bounce, and I'm gonna ghost you when I get ready to ghost you.
oh my god. See, that's why I closed that book today. Oh my oh no. No, no, no. I mean, no.
It's,
And it's Pamela, and what it is that, I like how R.C. Blake said, it's that the narcissist, it said they'll get seem like the women, a woman
Mhm.
who's not a narcissist, she want a man that's narcissistic. They look like they go for that. And
Mm.
or they desire that, or a man want a woman that's kind of edgy and she's a and what happens is when they get with this person, then that person breaks them and they're not like they used to be. Have you know they're not like they used to be. They don't have that
Yeah.
that nature, that softness about them. Look like they have built up a wall. Look like they get offended, and it takes and it's a healing process that's to help them through that traumatic. Because being with a narcissist is a traumatic event. It really is.
Is very traumatic. But you say, why do they like that type of person? You have to remember they're charmers. A
Mhm,
narcissistic person is a charmer. If they come in and they want everybody to put the spotlight on them, they want to take control of all the conversations, they are charmers. So
mhm,
most, not most, but some people like charmers. You
mhm,
know, like remember we talked about the people that live on the edge.
mhm,
Yeah, you're right. Yes, right now they are. It's so true. They are charmers.
mhm, mhm, mhm. She said, "Oh my god." She said, "Oh my god." So true. They
Yeah.
they are. But here, can I give a rule of thumb? Is that if you here's a, can I give a rule of
Give
thumb?
a news flash.
Is any time that you're approached by someone who likes you and they want to rush the process, the Bible said, "Be anxious for nothing." So if
Mm.
somebody's rushing you, I'm just going there today. If somebody's
Mhm.
rushing you to be in a relationship with them, they're not the one.
Mm.
Something is not wrong. You have
Smooth talker,
uh-huh.
fast
That
talker.
means you need to back up and say, "Why are they rushing me to be in the relationship?"
Mhm.
If that they present as everything
Mhm.
was lacking, uh-huh.
That's
So
uh-huh.
so if somebody's rushing you to be in a relationship, charm to
Yes,
change you and ultimately to control you, yes,
that's
Pat,
right.
very
That's
much.
right.
But if
Mhm.
somebody's rushing you to be in a relationship, somebody hear this now. I don't want you to miss this. If
Mhm.
somebody's rushing you to be in the relationship, they're not the one. Because the
Mm.
word of God said, be anxious for nothing. Okay.
Mhm.
And you have to recognize that I am good enough for the person to wait. It's no sense to be in a rush. I don't know you
Mm.
good enough. And
Mm.
when you step in that next phase of intimacy takes place or whatever, then
Mhm.
you're not outside the candy store anymore. You're inside
No.
the candy store, and you
Mhm.
cannot think correctly. And that
Mm.
you can't think correctly. Then the manipulator got you right there.
I mean, got you like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
That when you do get advice from people and they try to then you'll get mad at the people who try to tell you to get out of the relationship. That's a
Mhm.
lot of control. That's why we tell people, a lot of people can't handle having, being physical outside the marriage because it changed their attitude. It did change their decisions and it
Mhm.
did and their and how they respond to things that you cannot see clearly, listen clearly. It's that you this is what I want, this is what I want to do. And when you get in the relationship and see the whole thing come to life, then it's
Mhm.
like I'm on an island all by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it'll explode in front of your face.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mm. Someone said it is
Yeah.
an endless supply of ego. Yes, it is. It's an endless
Mhm.
supply of ego.
Mhm.
You're trying to fulfill their ego. That means you work.
Never will.
You never will. You never that
Never satisfied,
that's a,
Cheryl.
that's a continue that you can never satisfy that.
Never.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
one thing this happened, then they're going to do this. And you know what else I find out about it is that people have to realize that a person that is narcissistic, and if you're in a relationship with them, they'll take your health down.
I mean, let me tell you, you're gonna have 3 or 4 diagnoses
Mm-mm,
when you before you get out of that relationship. If you still in there, you're gonna be having those diagnoses and wondering what's going on with you because your body has endured
mm-hmm,
tremendous amount of stress for years.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, Pamela, we did the update. We did the framework. We did, we kind of
That's
stepped
the
over.
frame.
That's the frame. We kind of stepped over into the
Mhm.
relationship, but there is more to be involved. We're going to get
Yeah.
back. We're going to go deeper into some stages that take place when you are in a relationship with the narcissistic. I hope this helped
Mhm.
you out today. Then we're going to talk about the treatment plan. What would be a treatment plan for those who were in a relationship with a narcissist or
Mhm.
those who are still in relationship with a narcissist? And then the transformation process. And you said, sure, what do you mean by the transformation process would be for the narcissist because they have to transform from the inside out. They have to transform their
Mhm.
mentality. It is in depth things that have to take place for them. First of all, they have to realize that it's not all about them. They have to have the will. So that's what we're talking about there. And the healing process, the person who's been traumatized, is how can they
Mhm.
be healed from
Mhm.
this, that they can move on with their life and watch this and not be connected with somebody else in the future that's a narcissist because
That's
because you're
correct.
because if your identity is not straight, then you attract one narcissist from another, and then you think that's
Yes.
your plot in life, and that's just who I attract, and that is not true. You just have to
Mhm.
change. You have to revamp how you think, how you believe yourself, what you say, in
Mhm.
order to be attractive. Remember, we said that long time. A lot of people, Pamela. I think that time we was talking about dating the guy on the edge and how sometimes a women, a men and women, they have shutters on their like this and they can't look left or right. They're so stuck on the
Mhm.
wrong person, the toxic person. But once they go
Mhm.
through that healing process and move those shutters from their eyes, then they can see the king or the queen that was designed for them to come into their lives. And
That's
that is
true.
and that is
Mhm.
so important, authentic talk family. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. If you came across
No.
this person into your life, you learn from that experience and you move on. Now,
Yes.
what is to be shame about is if you go into another relationship and
Mhm.
with another person who have the same patterns. That means
Mhm.
that you need to back off and that you need to work on you. There's
Mhm.
something that is causing you to be attracted to that certain kind of person. Does that make sense, Pamela?
Yeah. It makes sense and it can happen.
Mhm,
It definitely could happen. You
mhm,
just like she said, when you spot it, know that you are so valuable and you work you deserve more than
mhm,
what you're getting and get out of that situation.
mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure if there's anything else, but we'll continue on. It won't be next week, but the following week. That
Mhm.
unless we are directed by God, else otherwise to go on next week, then I will know. Pamela will know.
Yeah.
But we hope that this was helpful for you today. Thank you, FaceTime family. They kind of showed.
Yeah, you
They
too. Thank you guys.
showed out today with the comments. I hope this
They
was helpful.
did.
I'm
Mhm.
asking you to share this. Don't let this be a podcast topic that
Mhm.
just sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Pass it on to someone else that you might know might be going through this. And
Mhm.
don't give it to the narcissist right now because they ain't ready to hear that right
They not ready. They
now.
have to be ready. And Cheryl, I almost forgot. I was thinking like not next week, but I almost forgot what we plan to do. So yeah,
Yes, unless
we skipping a week.
right, unless God tell us elsewhere, then we'll continue on next week.
Uh-huh.
Um, but
Uh-huh.
uh, but Pamela, you want to tell them about the therapy that's available for counseling services?
Yes, let me make sure it was good. Thank you so much. Yes, if you are in need of some therapy services and you have private insurance, you can contact your member service number to get you a list of therapists in your area. There is some platforms that I am familiar with is Therapy for Black Girls as well as Psychology Today. You can go on there and you can read their bios and call them and see if they're a great fit for you. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Chandra, I hope I sent Daniel. She said this was her first time on Authentic Talk.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family, and she said it was well needed.
Thank
Oh,
you.
there's my cut. Hey, cuz.
Thank you so
Miss Martin,
much.
great show, ladies. I love you.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
make sure you share this and invite more friends. And we want to
Mhm.
appreciate you because I'll just let you know because you're the family keeping abreast what's
Mhm.
taking place when we put these clips out. We're getting a lot of followers
Yes,
afterwards.
we
We're going up
are.
in the thousands, and so we are so grateful for that.
Mhm.
And so, if any topics that you do want us to cover, DM me at
Mhm.
Cheryl underscore masterpiece women or
Mhm.
message me at Cheryl on Facebook at Cheryl Brown, and then let us know the topic. If you have any questions, please DM me any questions, and Pamela and I will look
Yeah.
at questions and ask them accordingly. So for that, we say good night, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you. You guys continue to have a good week. Oh, I don't want to leave out. I'll be speaking in what is that? Macon,
Macon.
Macon, Georgia. It's
Uh-huh.
they titled this a mini hat conference. They're going to
Oh,
but I
that's
thought
so nice.
excellent. So I'll be there and Pam going with me. So we're excited about that.
Mate, you know I plan on going.
Oh, all
I'm
right.
going. I'm going. You know I'm going. You
Uh-huh.
know I'm going to go
Yeah,
support
oh,
you.
it's Jeanette
Yes,
Bakersfield in
Bakersfield.
the house.
Woo,
Woo, woo. And so this was very good. I've been listening for about 30. Thank you, Godmother. Oh, they clicking in today. Love you and appreciate you. And we are, I keep saying that it's just a process, but we are one step away of going on Spotify and other podcast
yes.
platforms. I have learned not to be anxious about nothing. And we are going to get it on so you can listen to your car, cleaning up, places. So it is coming soon. So everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah.